Hey, how's it going YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, welcome. Today I'm going to be going over the second part in my 3-part series, you can call it, on making this Uber Eats spec ad that I made. For fun, they didn't pay me or anything, that's why it's a spec ad. This is the second part of the 3-part series. Today we're going to be going over the actual production of the ad and what happened on the day of the shoot. Some of my thoughts, things that we could improve, things that I loved, things that I enjoyed, all of that. So let's get into it. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is why planning was so important for this spec ad. Well, any spec ad, really. Anything that you're working on, why planning is so important for it. First and foremost, obviously, is it helped me organize the day. So from scripts to storyboards to what I'm doing on the shoot day, equipment lists, planning, mood boards, things like that, all of that I was able to put into my pre-production. So that was a video previously. If you want to go check it out, go watch that first and then come back to this. It really helped me organize the day. So when I was on shoot location at my friend's house, I was able to pull out my nifty iPad and look for things that I needed during the shoot. What was I going to be shooting at the time? Was I doing a close-up? Was I doing a wide? Is there going to be dialogue in the scene? And even going through my mood board to look for lighting references that I might be trying to mimic during the shoot. Another major aspect that really helped me when planning and why it was so beneficial is it gave me confidence in planning and in executing my idea. Instead of going in blind, not really knowing what I want to shoot, not really knowing lighting setup or even dialogue, storyboards, things like that, the planning beforehand gave me confidence going into the shoot while knowing what I have to do, what equipment I have to bring, who I'm working with, just really the basic things. And this can really help you get and gain that confidence in building yourself into not feeling scared in doing what you're doing, giving yourself more trust, more freedom actually, even with everything planned out, because it gives you options in terms of, let's say you did a shoot or you did a scene where you shot it a specific way, you think it looks okay, it gets the job done, but hey, let's try something different. Because you planned for that original shot for that scene, you know you already captured it how you thought you wanted to capture it, let's pivot away and do something else, knowing that you already shot it the original way you wanted. It sounds a little confusing, it might, sorry. I'm just trying to explain what I did during the shoot and why it was so beneficial. So the second thing I want to talk about during the shoot was something that I felt, it was very unnatural for me. It made me uncomfortable, and this was directing. Even though I was behind the camera and I was the cinematographer, you can say, I felt uncomfortable to an extent at the start, especially directing my friends. Even though they're my friends and they know me very well and we're very close, directing people to do certain actions, certain dialogues, things that I'm looking for that they might not be looking for was daunting. Even just bossing them around, quote unquote, telling them what to do, giving instructions, things like that made me feel a little bit uncomfortable because I wasn't used to doing that. This is kind of my first spec ad shoot of this size, even though it's only 2 people, 3 counting me, with a bunch of lights and some cameras. That's about it, but it wasn't anything major, it wasn't anything big, but just that first time really directing people, telling them what to do, showing them my storyboard and what I planned for and how I wanted to look was something new to me and something that I wanted to learn and something that I took on head first, if that's the saying, but it was very daunting. So during the shoot, especially during the beginning, I felt uncomfortable in being the boss, you can say, telling them what to do, bossing them around too much, or feeling like I'm bossing them around too much, but I probably wasn't. It's part of the shoot. They're looking for direction from me, the director, the cinematographer, the person with the idea. So later on in the shoot, I started to feel more comfortable, me and my friends, the actors. When they were starting as well during the shoot, they're kind of stiff, needed to get into the groove of things, which is natural, it happens, we don't do this very often. So once we got into the groove of it, them feeling more comfortable in front of the camera, me feeling more comfortable behind the camera and directing people what to do, that's when the shoot starts to go a little more smoothly. It actually felt, it was fun, it was great, it was always fun, but once we got into the groove of it and started, you know, feeling out the scenes and having even more fun and just more experimenting, so different angles, different acting, things like that, that's when everything started to gel, and it just felt more comfortable for me personally, and really learning to lean into it and try my best to help them feel comfortable in front of the camera, making jokes, lightheartedness, things like that, to me doing my job and directing them. So as the day progressed and we got further into the shoot, things started to feel better. I started to feel more confident about myself, my decision making, my lighting, everything that I was doing on my end, and also helping my friends feel comfortable in what they're doing. Another thing that helped me during the shoot when I was on location was realizing that this was my shoot. This was my idea. This was my whole thing that I wanted to do. So since it was my shoot, and I know it sounds very selfish, saying mine a bunch, but in reality, it was my idea. My friends were willing to help, which I'm forever grateful for, and always grateful for any help, but it was my idea. It's my little baby, you could say. So I have to give it direction. I have to tell people what to do. I have to be genuine in the reactions that I'm giving or in the feedback that I'm giving them. This all helps in making a product that you're satisfied with and something that you think works and can work really well. The last thing I want to talk about is how fun the whole day was. Even at the start, I know there might be some things that I was scared or I wasn't well prepared enough to do certain things, whatever it might be. All in all, the whole day was amazing. Even though it was over, let's say 8 hours of shooting or 8 hours of production time, being there shooting, lighting, decorations for the set, which is just, cutlery that my friend has that we set up, to going to get food and taking a break and, doing things like that. The whole day was amazing. I wouldn't trade it for anything else. I would love to do it almost every single day. It was tiring, but super satisfying. And I loved every second of it and what we were doing. And I'm excited to do it more and bring more behind the scenes like this video to you guys, to show you guys what it's like, at least from my perspective, and how I handled the situation, what I wanted to do for that specific shoot. So that's kind of what happened during the shoot day. What did I take away from it? Well, there's a few things I wanted to change. One major thing I wanted to change in the future is my lighting. In the final product, in the final video, I'm not super satisfied with all the lighting and all the scenes, especially the first scene with how we lit it. I don't think it was the best. There's too many hard shadows. The lighting across certain scenes didn't match too well. There might have been a little bit difference. This might have been for a lack of lighting equipment that I had on my part, which could be. I just have this one Godox Softbox light that I have on the side with a few small aperture mini lights, like one on the side here, one in the back, and that's about it, and one light stick. So maybe upping my arsenal, you can say, for lighting equipment, which I actually am planning to do. And another thing was incorporating better structure, so planning out the day a little bit more accordingly. We did have a little bit of a hiccup in the middle in terms of planning when to shoot certain scenes for, let's say, the kitchen versus, the dining room, doing things like that. It took us a little bit to figure that out and how we wanted to structure it because of, logistics of getting food for the final shot to setting things up and not making sense of doing it backwards or maybe in between, cutting in between, whatever it is. Things like that. So just a little bit better planning because this was my first time doing it. So, I was just kind of throwing stuff at the wall, see what sticks. But all in all, the experience for the whole video shoot was amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed all the behind the scenes footage that my friend's brother was actually nice enough to do in his free time. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you want to support me, subscribe. I'm making a third part to this, going over all the post-production stuff, my editing process, and what I went through for that. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys another day.